it's the morning time.
All right, guys, welcome back. It is episode 23 of Behind the Schemes, and we just delivered an L-39 last week that left over the weekend. If you haven't checked out the last video, be sure to go check it out. That airplane was absolutely beautiful, turned out great, but we are back into the normal swing of things and really getting into crunch time for EAA AirVenture now. We're like 6 weeks out, so we're feeling the heat already, and we're trying to get as many of these planes there as possible. Scotty made a face when I said heat because it is 199% humidity today and really warm in Alabama. So we've got plenty of heat on top of the other heat what I'm talking about. The RV-10 for Jim Gore is getting stripped, and we're going to be final detailing that plane pretty soon. Aircraft stripping is critical and a lot of work. It's a messy job that most people don't want to do. We're pretty fortunate that we get a lot of home-built airplanes that are new, so we don't have to do a lot of stripping, and we don't have a separate strip bay for it, so we have to be careful, control our chemicals, and that sort of thing, just to make sure that we're not getting this stuff everywhere, spraying it all around the shop. So we have to keep everything a lot more controlled. So if you look at this plane now, we've got all the paint off of it. Tom down here is doing the final little wipe down and clean up. And essentially what this process looks like is we want to get all the original paint down to the aluminum, or removed down to the aluminum. And we want to make sure that we're protecting the plane, keeping any of those chemicals from getting inside of the plane, any seams, gaps, anywhere where the stripper is unrecoverable. So basically, we're going to use aluminum foil, plastic, aluminum tape, and those products are not going to let any water penetrate it or any kind of cleaner or stripper. So that's what you see here. Once the chemical stripping's been done, we're going to mechanically sand and remove the rest of the paint. So everywhere there's like a little bit of foil tape and there's paint underneath it, same thing around the doors and the windows, all that's going to be sanded down and removed mechanically. So we're going to use sandpaper there.
How does the paint stripper actually work? Because it looks like magic.
It is kind of magical. This is a peroxide based stripper. Essentially what it's doing is it's eating through the paint and going underneath the paint, and then it kind of just keeps going down into the paint surface and absorbing into it, and it'll eventually reach aluminum and then it stops working, so it just separates that layer between the paint and the aluminum. Typically you'll see the paint's gonna start bubbling up, peeling off the plane pretty quickly, and then you'll see some paints, like lacquer based, are just gonna turn into mud. So it really just depends on what kind of paint and how it's gonna strip. We got pretty lucky on this one. It strips well. The paint's a little bit newer, likely urethane based, so it stripped really, really easy. I say easy. That's probably not what Tom would say. So it was easy for me to watch.
Yeah, you did real good on this.
He made it look easy.
This is just a little product that helps fill little bitty pinholes.
Oh, cool. I was gonna ask.
Yeah. You wipe it out, it's kind of like it's weird, it almost feels like flake. Kind of.
It just kind of squeezes down into those pinholes?
Yeah, and it dries real fast.
Oh, that's sick.
It kind of seals the filler up so it doesn't pinholes there. It's our latest attempt on shutting down the pinners. Pinhole life ain't easy.
So what are we working on?
Wheel pants. People don't realize how much work just goes into every component and piece of these things. Even the wheel pants. I mean, you got 2 or 3 colors on a wheel pant. You got to mask it several times. It's round. It's not the easiest thing in the world to mask because it is round. And yeah, even like a nose wheel pant or a nose wheel aircraft, you got 6 of these things to do. So it's a lot of work. All right, guys, midweek check-in. So we are getting Keith's airplane ready for pickup later this week. We just got a little bit of detail work left to do to that plane, a little bit of assembly left to do, and that airplane's gonna fly out of here. We just got Jeff Radke's airplane in there. We're getting the base color on it, and then that layout is gonna start next. That design's really cool. Stay tuned for that. But anyways, we're gonna get back to it. And also, it is hot, but we are hanging in there, and you know,
The heat is on.
the heat is on.
Hey, Autumn! Oh, it's time for the return of Question of the Week.
What you got for me?
So we know with the design team, it is your job to make planes look cool, but there are some other considerations that we take into account on the design team when designing schemes. What are some of those things that people don't think about when designing?
Honestly, one of the biggest considerations when you're starting to design your scheme is envisioning it as a 3D object. And so of course you want to put a lot of stripes through here, but you have to think about where they are ending up. So usually you'll end up with some stripes that are terminating around the belly or around the top of the fuselage, and you have to envision what those stripes are actually doing. Are they coming together in a straight line? Are they coming together as a curve? Are they coming to a point? Or are they going to be a different element as themselves? Another big transition area you want to consider are any of the horizontal surfaces. So of course you can see here we've got a space here to make room for the horizontal stabilizer. We've got space here for the wing. Any stripes that usually pass through those areas are difficult to stripe, and they can look a little funny as those fairings especially curve. Or, I mean, if you had a stripe coming through the wing here, what's it going to do on the wing? Is it going to continue, or is it just going to terminate and you have just a hard line there? Another thing to consider are where any of your other external surfaces are. Your antennas, your NACA ducts. You want to keep those spaces pretty clean so it's not visually disruptive, and again, it's easy for our painters to stripe. Another thing that's really important to keep in mind, starting from the beginning of the process, is what colors you can work with. So a lot of the times I'm working with someone and we, of course, have a really good idea of the kind of colors that they like, but sometimes your paint shop might not have those colors. They use a different paint line that may be a little bit more restrictive. So I would say in the beginning of the process, find out what paint manufacturer and what paint line your paint shop is using, so you already know what restrictions to work within. And then staying within, being FAA compliant is a huge thing. So one of the biggest struggles I run into is whenever we're working on a design like this and we've got 3-inch registration, but then the owner realizes actually they might want to do some international travel, and then we have to move the 3-inch, which is neatly nestled in, a bunch of stripes. We have to make that 12. So if you're going to do any international travel, start designing around a 12-inch number. That takes up a lot of real estate on the fuselage, and it's best to just go ahead and work around that from the beginning. And one final thing I would say that is a delicate consideration: think about what parts of your airplane are more likely to get damaged than anything else. That's probably your cowling and your wheel pants, maybe the leading edge of your wings. Any rock chip can damage it, and you want to make sure those areas are simple enough to paint. So that means no custom work, no carbon fiber, no fades, and ideally at least a little simple as possible.
Awesome. And that was the question of the week. Oh, to the brim.
Boom.
So for the people who don't know, what is this goop?
This is the magical compound. This is our holy grail of the buffing world right here.
And what do we use it for?
We razor blade our trash, and then we sand it 12-15 in the compound. We put on our buffing pad right here. And it gets all those little scratches out. And it makes it look beautiful.
And that's Buffing 101.
Ta-da!
It's all about the details.
Man, amazing. I can't believe it's the same airplane.
We actually swapped it out.
It looks like, I would believe it. I would believe it, absolutely. It is absolutely just amazing.
All right, so great day today. Keith's airplane flew out of here. It was a beautiful RV9A that had been flying in bare aluminum for quite a while, so that transformation was really, really nice to see. Keith was super happy with the project, and the airplane turned out great. Beautiful, classic, red, white, black paint scheme. Nice flowing lines for a very timeless design. It's a beautiful airplane. We're happy to have it out of here, and we're on to the next one. Oshkosh is coming up, so we are pushing hard for the next plane.
Boom. Let's get a little B-roll in there.
So this is outro, complete outro, one take.
You think? You can do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching again. We've got a lot of movement, a lot of motion happening right here before Oshkosh. We've got a few weeks left. The literal heat is on and the figurative heat is on. So we've got 3 weeks left and it's about 147 degrees in here, but we are pushing hard to get more airplanes done to show you guys at the show. We've got Radke's airplane here. This paint scheme is going to be really, really cool, so stay tuned for this one. And then we've got airplanes in every booth. So
That's what we need.
that's what we need. Just hang in there with us. We are going to see you next time. Like, subscribe, comment. We love you. We'll see you. I'm out of here. Here, take this thing. Get it away from me. I don't know what I'm doing.